Alright, anyway, we're digging things up. This was the original wire, right here. This is the one that I'm almost positive I'm having problems with. That's the one that if I shut off, the amperage shuts down to like a half a volt, less than a volt. And less than a volt, in my opinion, is just about normal. And at that point, that's the one. Now while I'm at it though, trying to find that one, you know, I didn't know exactly where it went into the house because I forgot. I thought it was over here, and meanwhile it was over there. Now this one is feeding the generator, which is in that little shack right there, which is into this piece here, which is pretty well all sealed up, so I shouldn't have to worry about that one at all. And the other one, which is in there, which again is pretty well sealed up, so I shouldn't have to worry about that one. What I am going to do though is I'm going to cut into them a little bit when the power's off, just enough so I can see if there's any water getting in those pipes, because if there's water getting in there, eventually they're just going to go bad, regardless if they're underground cable or not. And you're not supposed to really run underground cable and any type of conduit, because it has to have the ground to help keep it cool. So, you know, that's it. Now, if you're going to run 10 feet, 15 feet, usually it's okay. And because I didn't go that deep, I wanted to do it so that if somebody was to buy this house in the future, I don't want them digging in with a shovel and hitting the wire, because I wasn't deep enough to put down any tape. So naturally I had to do it for that reason. So, alright, so at this point I'm going to finish digging that out over there. I'm going to see where this feeds. I'm going to disconnect it, and I'm going to get rid of all the wire that's here, and I'm going to climb up in the attic and tie it right into the breaker up there, or get in the attic and tie it into the main box over here. I don't know yet, but we'll see. The main thing is getting it up and getting it disconnected, and then I can figure out which way I'm going to go from there. Once I get it up and disconnected, I'll also be able to see if it's definitely relieving the problem. When I shut the breaker off, it did. However, sometimes this thing is low and sometimes it's high. It seems to be intermittent. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to get that all cleared out over there now. Okay, we got it down to a point where I could do a little bit of shuffling now and find out where we're at. Okay, but if you also notice, there's some water over there now. Now there's two things it can be. Not there. One of them, neither one of them is actually a big deal. One of them is this black pipe is part of an underground water system. I put that in to give me water in the shop if I need it, and I have a spigot in there, which is actually off right now, but it still may have water in line. The other is this piece of PVC pipe that's housing a piece of wire may have water in it, and that's what's happening. And in this case, I would hope that I just kinked and busted this this underground water line. That's the irrigation tubing they use for irrigation. It's thin, so it's a strong possibility that's all it is. If it's water buildup in the PVC pipe, well, that means that that wire has been sitting in a lot of water, and somehow the water got in there. So that, to me, could be an issue. So I'm going to go a little further, but I'm going to tackle the rest of it now with a shovel, and I will be back. Okay, well, it's about 8:30 at night, and it's Saturday night. There's my ladder that you probably can't see going up into the crawl space up there. What I did was the wire that was underground going to the original wire I put in was underground. So what I did was over here that you can't see, I'll show it again in the morning, I put a piece of new wire in and took down all the other wire, and I ran it up inside this piece of conduit that you don't see. So that is all good wire. It's good wire underground in that little piece of conduit, which has been checked. There's no water in it, and there's a box down there that you're not seeing where the two of them are connected, which is a junction box. Then that wire goes up into the attic of this place, all the way across to the fuse block over there, fuse box. Now the problem being is over there, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But now, as you can see, it's raining. Yeah, it is. And I still have those two white pieces of PVC, Schedule 40, that I have to change because that is not underground cable. Now that's not giving me a headache, that's not giving me the problem, but as long as I have it up, I'm also change it. So Monday I'm going to go down to Home Depot and buy all new. I'm probably going to go with two separate 6.2s. I don't know yet, because one of those feeds the generator. Well, the generator feeds it, and then the other one feeds the garage. So at this point, I don't know. I mean, I may be able to get away but why? But running a 6.3 or 3.6 rather. But I think I'm just going to get two individuals and run them as individuals, and that's it. And as long as I do that, I'll probably run a new Cat 5 as well, because I do have a Cat 5 brand in there, and I think I got a phone line running in there too. So I might also take care of all that at the same time. Now, after I ran all that new wire up and above and all that kind of stuff, which is right there, right to code. Hey buddy. Okay, so it's still at night. Anyway, while I'm back into the light area, up in the attic of this place, there's a fuse box. Well, an old fuse box. Basically what it has is, it has a box with two fuses. You connect the wire here, and here it goes out, and that actually goes into another fuse box for what reason I don't know, and that it goes out. Now off this fuse box, the main, it has a very large, what looks to be maybe a number 8 ground wire that goes up into the eave of the garage, or the attic up there, follows it down and goes down outside into a ground rod into the ground. Well, after I ran that new wire, and after I did all that, and after I checked, and it is underground wire, after I did all this checking, I still had voltage. So I went up and I cut that ground wire, just for the hell of it, the one that goes off to the earth ground. And when I did that, the voltage dropped right down to a 1/2 volt. Now again, the volts and amps is two different things. It's the amps I'm really concerned about, but the volts is also going to carry it. But when it's down that low, I have no issues. So I really don't know what the problem is, because that was the breaker that always seemed to have taken care of the problem. So not unless that was just transferring off to the other side. Who knows at this point? So Monday I'm going down. I'm buying all new wire, all new underground wire, and I'm going to rewire this whole shop underground like it has been, with underground wire, all new wire, and then if it still does it then, oh, I have no idea what the hell we're going to do. But at least it's got to get done. I have it open, I have the ground open. As long as the ground is open, I must have put underground cable in there. That's where it is, so that's what I should use. I have underground cable over here, 500 or 250 feet here, and I have another 250 foot roll out in the other shop, the shed. But that wire is only 12-2, and I need 6-2. I would prefer 6-2. I could probably get away with 8, but I would prefer 6. And then this wire is to rewire the whole backyard. But right now the whole backyard is totally disconnected. So I'm not in that much of a hurry to get that done right now. I have 12 volt remote floodlights that I used to have on the boat, and I think you've seen them before. I have one up on the tower, and I have another one on the outside corner of that building. So when the wife and things go out at night, I come out here and I turn those on, and we can put them wherever we need to put them. So at that point, there's not a problem. So that's where we're at, guys. Right back where we started, but a big dirty hole, and now it's started to rain when it was supposed to be nice for the next 5 days.